baby, it's cold inside. Look at the thermometer on the wall. It's freezing in here, I know it. Wish we had some heat today. Really can't stay, baby, it's cold inside. So it's actually about 5 degrees Celsius outside, and it's probably about 10 in here. Welcome, guys, to the morning show, and of course, yes, cold, pimples all over my skin. And I have to tell you, the landlord did look at the heat yesterday. There was some air in the system, but guess what? Still no heat. I think they got more air in the system than they expected. I think what the problem is that they need to call an HVAC guy come out here and look and see what's going on here with all this coldness. Of course, we still have hot water, but the hot water system has its own separate pipe that feeds the indirectly heated hot water tank. So that's a little different. But it's not very warm at all. So as we shiver in the night, shiver in the night, guy, oh dear, we shiver in the night. Okay. So anyway, we got 2 people watching so far, and of course, as you'll know here, you can hear the mosquito. He's dead. Yes, we got rid of the mosquito. Thank God. Now we can at least hear each other without the sound of a little whining mosquito constantly flying overhead. This is a great start for the show. The monetization is fixed too. It just turns out that YouTube yesterday had some problems on their side, which I suspected. So that's a good start. That's fixed. Yay. Got the bills paid this morning. I got them all taken care of. That's one set of things that people kept asking me about is how much money does your studio actually make, and how much does it offset your expenses? A lot. We don't make a heck of a lot, but what we get helps offset the operating costs, especially on days like today when we let the electric oven wide open trying to get heat in here. I don't have it on right now. I just got the electric heater on in the bedroom going full blast, sending a electric bill right through the roof. Whoop! So not exactly a good thing, but yeah, the electric bill is gonna be definitely on the high side. This almost as much as the wind. Try later. Well, okay. See, I'm trying to find out what's going on here. My channel. Oh, wait. This is the new one? Wait a minute. Where's my channel? Alright. Turn on, show. Internet is up as far as I can see. Fixed now. Well, might be fixed now, but an error occurred. I don't know what that means. Oh, it says I'm live. Oh, there we go. Let me just refresh the screen here. I don't understand. Let's see. Discover snapshot. Jesus Christ, what did you have to do? Oh, you know what? YouTube changed the design on their page again. Now they changed the YouTube app a lot, and now I can't figure out what's going on here. Oh, there we go. My channel. Yep, shows I'm still live here. There's the advertising.
I eat healthy to fuel my routine.
Yep, shows I'm still live here. Okay. There's the advertising.
I eat healthy to fuel my routine.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know what the story is sometimes when it does that. I really don't know why that does that. But, as I said, I have no control over what goes on outside my walls, as far as the internet goes. We all know the internet is basically is out of my control. I don't really know. Maybe the wiring is shivering. Maybe the wiring is cold. Maybe something at the central office of the phone company is broken down. Maybe water got into the wires, out on the poles. Who knows? Could be any of that. But all I know is that I'm streaming right now. That's all I know. And it's just a fact of life. I don't know why things like that happen. Pop out chat. Put that back out here so I can see it. Quarter my eyes here. And well, anyway, good morning, everybody. Anyway, as long as we have internet, as long as we have oxygen on the planet to breathe, as long as we have water in our bodies, moisture and water in our atmosphere, as long as Earth remains an inhabitable planet. Welcome to the show. As of course we all know, as I said earlier, expected high today is about 9 degrees Celsius right now. Currently it's about 5 or 6 degrees right now. I can check exactly if you really want to know exactly the temperature. In Winstead, currently it says it's 4 degrees Celsius still. It is sunny. Not very warm. It's 10:07 a.m. I'm doing fine otherwise. Just, we need to make friends with the North American Internet Queen. No, I don't think there is such a thing. But, I'll tell you one thing. As I was saying before we had our temporary surprise outage, is that the donations, the AdSense revenue, helps offset the higher costs that we're all experiencing right now. And coming up this month, also want to remind you that on Friday we will not have a live show at 10 a.m. because I will be out with Krista. So, but I will be home later on, so it'll be an afternoon show, probably about 1 o'clock. I'm off work today as listening to you and playing Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma. Never heard of that one. I was hoping to get some World of Warcraft in sometime. But yesterday I didn't really have much time because Ed wanted to talk to me about a lot of little things that he was thinking about and working on. And so that's why I was not able to join the World of Warcraft lately. Maybe I'll wait until I get my new video card. which obviously is not going to be this month for obvious reasons. I don't know. With the okay, going to restart the stream instead. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna go. So wait, no, wait a minute. It just said go and restart the stream instead, and it seems to be. Okay, going to restart the stream instead. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna go. So wait, no, wait a minute. No, it's working. It's working now. Alright, so I don't need to restart the stream. Instead. Okay, I'm gonna go. So wait, no, wait a minute. So, like I said, I don't have much of a choice over the issue of the internet and what's going on. Like I said, maybe the wiring in the pole is cold. Maybe there's a water and the moisture in the wires on the pole. Maybe there's something at the central office at the phone company that's broken. Maybe there's salt in the wires. I don't know. I have no control over it. I have no control over it. As much as I wish I could say, but 7 people on so far. Is lower than the recommended bit rate. You know, it's funny though, because you can't really go any faster than I am on ADSL. I really can't go any faster. I've tried to go faster one time, but I ended up giving up the T-Mobile port backup internet connection because it was going to cost us more money than we were making right now. And also, it doesn't seem to like sharing the network with, other things. So I tried to go with the. That's a story in its own right, but I'll share it with you. Because the thing was with the T-Mobile is that I was using T-Mobile MiFi. What was happening was the internet was going out fine if I was just doing YouTube by itself. Even though I had 25 megabits per second up, 25 megabits per second down normally, the minute I would start the panel, which is open now, by the way, should point this out. Copy this link here. Copy. Forgot to paste that information. Join. Let's see. Join the morning panel at this link. Okay, so now I'm going to pin it so you guys can come into it. I also should check that the sound's working on the panel too. I didn't test that today. Yep. So the panel's open. So what would happen is I would be doing the live stream with T-Mobile, and that's a constant bit rate. That's like, even if I do it the same rate that I'm doing with the Frontier here at under 850 kilobits per second, the minute people started joining the panel, all of a sudden the internet would just kind of act really stupid, like just like drop frames, turn almost into a stuttering, choppy mess. And it wasn't because of lack of data. It was because Wi-Fi is unidirectional, which means that you can send or you can receive, but you can't send and receive at the same time. So all of a sudden, nothing can be. You can send all the data you want, or you can receive all the data you want, but you can't take turns sending and receiving data. There is no round robin kind of data sending and receiving. Now, maybe on some of the newer wired, like the T-Mobile hotspot thing that they have, or T-Mobile home internet, which goes straight through the cell phone network and doesn't have to go through a wireless attachment device, it would probably work. But with the way we had it set up, it was definitely not that way. So that was kind of slowing everything down, because even though I was paying $50 a month, $55 a month for 100 gigabytes of data, it was just as absolutely frustrating as could be. Because our hotspot, well, it did have a wired connection using something called, what is it called there? You could plug it into USB port. You had to use your cell phone to actually turn on the hotspot. What? You had to use the cell phone to turn on the hotspot and USB mode, because it didn't automatically default to USB mode. So it's using NDIS, and it was just a time-consuming process to go live every day. It was just a whole nother layer of stuff to turn on just to get the live streams to go. And I said to myself, when I saw the phone bill, didn't the internet man come over 2 months ago? Yeah, he did. But the problem is the wiring, don't forget, is old on the pole. It's old. Cables in the pole are over 50 years old. There's nothing I can do about that. You know. And I asked Frontier, I said, when are you guys going to start bringing fiber to Winston? I need to be regular. Unfortunately, we don't know when fiber is going to come to Winston. But I said, that's ridiculous. I said, at the time, I was paying $138 a month for crappy internet. And then once I got the emergency broadband.org, my bill came out to be $31.31. Go figure that one out. I mean, I went from $131 to $31.31. This month I don't have to pay anything because I have a credit. How you doing, Courtney? So, I mean, that's good, because the money that I'm not spending on Frontier is going for the hair this month. Yeah, just really kind of frustrating. I have, but I haven't done much right at this minute. I haven't even played World of Warcraft lately, because Ed's been keeping me on my toes trying to get things done for another project he's working on. And I got to sit down and work on my book a bit. I got to get some World of Warcraft in. I had a dream where all of a sudden all the characters in the games, all my games, started knocking on my door. And so Michaela, Brylan, Bearden, Cadieris, and all the others came walking in my living room and said, when are you gonna see you again? We haven't seen you in months. Especially Cadieris hadn't seen me in months. And I said, I don't know. I said, no. They told me I need to upgrade my computer operating system, and I can't upgrade that until I get a new video card. And I said, well, we still wish you'd play with us, but we're bored. Kenny Harris was saying is, I'm stuck in the middle of a field, supposed to go to battle, and I haven't gotten to battle yet. Michaela looked at me with her nasty look and said, and what about me? You left me for like old garbage. And I said, well, Vicky, I didn't mean to leave you for garbage. I just, I explained what's going on the internet. She says, well, right now the game still works. So why don't you play us? We haven't seen you around in weeks. And then Michaela had an idea. You know what we should do? Why don't you come into our universe and play with us as partners? How can I do that? She hands me a Hearthstone and says, I'll tell you how you're going to do it. Every single one of us wants you to play. And then, of course, the other Michaela from ESO knocks on the door. Yells at me and says, what about me? I'm stuck over here, and on this game, I can't even figure out what I'm supposed to do next. I still have to get that stupid gear. I can't find the gear. You haven't actually played me either. I'm like, oh. And I looked out the door, and then, of course, all the Second Life characters are out there, and all the Sims 3 and Sims 4. Romy and Michelle Marie from Sims 3 came over and said, "What about us?" I still haven't fixed that darn television for my neighbor yet. Yeah. So when your video games start to come to life, then you know you're in trouble. Okay. So. Yeah. Anyway, I kind of got a lot of things on my plate right now. And that's the reality. I don't even know when I'm going to be able to get to World of Warcraft. I might be able to play it somewhat this afternoon. At least I'd like to try. But Katie Harris was right about one thing. She says, I'm stuck in a place I don't want to be. I can't get out of here because you got to get me to a city where I can take a dragon flight back out, or a griffin master out back to Stormwind, so I can get back to my family. So I have to figure out how I'm supposed to get that done. Get my characters back home to the various places. And Katie Harris's Hearthstone isn't set to go home. She was supposed to go to battle for fight for the Alliance, but she's kind of got stuck. So now she has to go to the battle. She has to still find the battleground. But I have worked on the book, and I don't know which chapter we left off in the book, but I still have the book, obviously. If you want, I could read some of the book to you. It's no problem for me. Let's see if I can find it here. Did you save it? Well, I did save it a little, but I don't have the very newest one. I might have to change the working title on this book because it's really not accurate anymore. It's not. Whoa, dude, what's this? Oh, okay. PDF documents. Trip to Quaslas. Amtrak. Let's see if I can find it. Trip to Silvermoon by Amtrak. Alright, tell you what. Why don't I read some of this book now? See if I can figure out where we left off here. Why not? Let's read you some of the book. I know when I was working on it originally with Monica, that we kind of, I still kind of miss Monica. Alright, let's see. Scene 3, stream alerts, stream chat. I'm going to take the chat off so I can read this. Window capture, click on the gear, change it to the preview program, general. Okay, here we go. Let's continue on where we left off here. Let's read some of this to you guys, alright? Let's see. Okay. I looked at amazement of this. This is from chapter 1. I'm going to continue from here. I looked at amazement from the spires and ornate architecture. Michelle, we are not on Earth anymore, I said in awe. Millennia looked at me confused. No, you're not. Welcome to my home. The train came to the platform and stopped. The conductor announced the next stop as this was the Sunwell, and all Silvermoon passengers are to disembark. Quickly, all 4 of the Cinderai and myself grabbed our bags and got off the train. I was awestruck at all the majesty that surrounded me. Pointed to see a U.S. Amtrak station and signage in a station that was not even built by human hands. Valenia asked me to follow her as Michele and the other 3 went to another location. Let me show you my home city and my home. I have an apartment here, and I have room for you to stay at a night, or did you book lodging? She asked as we walked as fast as my knee could travel. I frowned a little. I didn't book a room. I had thought of staying for a few hours and then taking a return train. I turned to see the Amtrak train moving onto the Sunwell as the CSX freight train was slowly pulling into the platform. Now forklifts were coming in to unload the boxcars of produce. I saw a tanker was cut from the train and moved to a siding where a hose was connected and was pumping out the contents. It was gasoline. Next to that tanker was another that was unloading kerosene. The sidings was far from the platform and clearly was not the most pretty area of the grand entrance. Why unload here? Certainly there would be better places for this. Valenia nodded. Not really. Ghostlands gets the first of deliveries, then straight through to Silvermoon. Lastly, they delivered to the Sunwell. There was no room for a freight yard, so we had to put it in here. Silvermoon had several means of powering itself. Kerosene and diesel were used for our generators, heavy equipment, and traditional lighting. The gasoline is used for our vehicles, some lighting, and some cook stoves. They also have our energy crystals that also provide power. We have exported some of them to the United States. However, it seems very few Americans have adapted to the technology to make use of them. Notice how the unloaded boxcars are being reloaded with local products for export. So many people enjoy our products that the most popular items is our music players and furniture. They also export a large amount of clothing and magical objects. We are not the only ones in Azeroth with a portal like this. The Alliance has built a roadway with Brussels to ship goods by truck to Goldshire. They had plans to do a railway, but the King of Stormwind didn't want to front the cost for construction. Sadly, we are a horde and we are sworn enemies to the Alliance. If you ask me, we got the better arrangement. I hear there's many accidents and traffic tie-ups in Goldshire with trucks choking the roadways. I watched as a third tanker carrying propane was moved to a third spot as again a hose was connected and you could hear the hiss of propane flowing. The first and second tankers were moved out of the fuel unloading area as a hopper car carrying anthracite coal was brought in. Then it was dumped into pits below the city. After both the propane coal cars were emptied, they were attached to the two other tankers and moved back to the CSX train, which pulled out of the station. Went across the bridge to the Sunwell, where they would also unload some more supplies and turn around and return to the United States. And if you go back up here, you can see here the layout. You see the two black things coming down from the bottom to the up to the top. That's the railroad tracks. And you can see there's two sidings on the side here, where there's the one that's closest to the far left is where the propane and the trucks, other train cars go to, and then the second one over here is where the anthracite coal is unloaded. And then those two go straight to the Sunwell. Let's go back here. Rotary not okay, so I read that already. Used for generators, okay. Without the technology, okay, there we go. I watched as a third tanker carrying propane was moved, which I explained that already. Personally, I did not like this setup. First, one thing, it was ugly. Clearly, at one time, this was to have been a grand entrance to impress visitors. Now, not so much. A double track line going through the grand entrance was mainly taken up by a railway, a station platform, and on the other side, a fueling station that was clearly, I felt, did not even belong inside. Sure, the platform I could excuse, but why a fueling terminal inside a major city? I asked Valenia, who only could sigh with the frustration she spoke. Blame the DSPS for that. They refused to give up their historical but dangerous dead scar. We had to make so many compromises to get any of them to allow the railway at all. They refused to consider the risks of having flammable fuel being stored inside Silvermoon. We have enough gasoline and propane to blow up this whole complex over 5 times. Well, the fill ports are inside. The tanks are below ground outside of the city. Many, me included, would rather seen the whole process being done outside. Many uneasy residents have asked the Regency to change this design. He's considering it. However, he doesn't know if moving the terminal is practical given the DSPS adamant feelings of changing the grounds around the dead scar. There's a huge number of pages on this book right now, and I'm going to be honest and say this is the kind of story that I've been writing here. I said, well, I looked at her with confusion. DSPS? Who are they? She spoke with anger. The Dead Scar Preservation Society, a non-governmental group that demands that the Dead Scar remain as a tribute to all the Cinderai who fought for Silvermoon. Even now, they continue to protest the railway. So many of them gain much benefit from it. Nonetheless, they would rather see their goddamn Dead Scar preserved while our city languishes in poverty. We walked through to the bazaar, which was pretty much the main merchant area of Silvermoon. There were... I don't know, I have to have... There's there twice. There were a few shops, a fountain, an inn, a bank, and an auction house, along with many park benches, much to my niece's delight. Valenia pointed to the inn. That's where Michele and her wife, the innkeeper Jovia, live. I lived there for a while, but found an inexpensive apartment off the Hall of Elders. It has been renovated with all new furniture and appliances. I pay about 50 gold a month I live by myself with my 2 cats. I was confused by the price. What's that in American dollars? She smiled. Oh, sorry, I forgot you didn't know our money. That would be about 400 US dollars. Not bad for an apartment inside the city. It's fairly plain though. Come on, let me show you around. I need to call Michaela to see what time she can work on your knee. She helps out at the local. Someone's ringing my doorbell electronically. Let me get to the doorbell. Yay! Where's the doorbell? I got it. Oh my god. Yeah. It's too many people. Too many people. Okay. Alright, let's answer the doorbell. Hi, Skynet. How you doing?
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Doing alright. Let me switch the screen back to us now. So I was just reading some of the book because people want to know what we've done with the book so far.
Is it a sexual book?
A friend of mine once said she refuses to read a book with a map in it. Well, illustrations do help, you know. And I would like the train part. Yeah, DVR says, I'm pretty sure 50 gold isn't 50 US dollars. Gold is a lot cheaper nowadays. Well,
Michelle, I think the problem is women don't know how to read maps.
Oh, I can read maps. Thanks for sharing the book. Of course, the book isn't finished yet, guys. I'm still working on it. This is quite a few chapters back from where I am now.
How many chapters do you got?
Oh my god, like about 5 of them.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How many pages per chapter?
I don't know. I don't count page. I don't count pages.
You don't count pages?
No, I just write the story, and I'm trying to make the story as good as I can. You know.
How many would you say? Is it like 5 or 10 pages per chapter, or like 50?
That vary anywhere from, at the current point size, I would say anywhere from 10 to 15 pages per chapter.
Wow. Which chapter are you most happy with?
I like chapter 2 because that goes more to the actual work of Mani, the actual serving in the Sunstrider Isle as a trainee.
Oh, DVR wants to put in a pre-order.
I don't know if there's going to be any pre-orders. I don't even know how I can even market the book.
Michelle, are you on Amazon?
Yeah. But then I have to pay for all those publishing for all those books.
Well, are you trying to sell your book or not?
Well, I don't know yet. I really would like to see people read it more than to worry about making money from it at this point.
I'm hoping somebody makes it into a movie.
That's a long time from now. Besides, they would have to get rights from Blizzard for that. Because Blizzard still owns the license to the World of Warcraft universe. DVR says, I think you should. We could help you get it printed, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe. Let's gotta finish writing it, though, first.
There's like this get-rich-quick method on Amazon where people like sell blank books, but they like design their own covers and stuff, but you have the one up in that you actually have something that you could put in a book. So I feel like if you were to look on Amazon,
people buy blank books so you can use them for journals. They
right.
That's not really
right. But what I'm
but
what I'm saying, instead of printing a blank book, you just print your book. You know, like you put your text inside of the book.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't know what it is with Red Foreman and the bees thing, but anyway, I'm working on it right now. First, I have to finish it. It's got to get it ready where I can actually. It's in a publishable condition. It's not quite yet there.
It's kind of like the ants, Michelle. Remember when you had ants all over your computer screen?
No, I've had cockroaches all over my kitchen, but not recently. I heard Michelle owns Monsanto stocks. No, I don't.
Michelle,
What?
do you carry Monsanto stocks?
I don't have Monsanto stocks.
Oh my god.
Well, anyway, did Youngkin win Virginia?
Yeah. Right? Didn't he?
I think he won.
I mean, unless
he looked pretty promising yesterday. I wonder who still remains the governor of Connecticut. If the Connecticut had a gubernatorial race as well, I don't know.
Unless they pulled some like tricky dicky stuff, he won.
I don't think they did though, because Youngkin clearly was already in the lead, even in the exit polls.
Isn't it funny how now the Democrats aren't even popular, but yet Joe Biden was the most popular president in U.S. history?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about that doesn't make any sense. But right now, he's certainly not popular. Even Greta Thunberg isn't impressed by him.
Do you think Greta Thunberg has Down syndrome?
I don't think so.
How old is that kid?
18.
She's 18?
Yep, she's 18 now.
She looks like she's like 9 years old.
She looks a little older than that.
Alright, she looks 10 years old.
Well,
I don't know. She looks like a little kid to me.
This is the reason why people were really looking into what was going on in Virginia, because this will be the first time in over 10 years they had a Republican governor.
How old was she when she started getting famous? Like before she was an adult? Was she just 17?
I think about 13, 14 at the time.
Wow.
She dedicated her life to becoming a professional protester.
Man, that's crazy, Michelle. Could you imagine being a child and getting that wrapped up in politics?
Yes, I can, actually.
Really?
Yeah, because that's the way I was as a kid, too.
You were like Greta?
Let's see, let's read some of the comments. It says, Youngkin won. Krell on the ground says, the left are realizing Biden isn't their man. DVR says, Greta is not a minor anymore. You can tell, call her bad words now. Flick says, Onyx Deport, the Fortuitous just kickstarted a movie. Maybe you could kickstart. Heck, maybe you could write a book on the Onyx universe. I don't know anything about the Onyx universe. I just love my Cinderai. That's all I really care about, really. Red Foreman says LOL. Red Foreman says ha 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 ha. Red Foreman says professional protester. Yeah. If protesting is a new profession, please pay me a pal.
What does Lumi say?
What's that? Well,
what did Lumi say?
About the book, or about the fact that I am actually very loyal to the Cinderai? Oh, God.
Yeah. All of that.
I just think I can see Michelle's understanding why she supports the Cinderai, because her life, like the Cinderai's life, has always been a life of tumultuous change. But I don't know if she can ever really get this published as a book, because of the fact is that the World of Warcraft hasn't released licensing rights yet. So I don't know if she can.
Michelle, what are you doing for Thanksgiving this year?
Nothing. Probably just a small Thanksgiving dinner for two. There's really not a lot to do for Thanksgiving.
If I came and picked you up, but you had to like stay like over at like a house, like you'll get a room or whatever.
What
Like, you want to
professions
do that?
are your favorite in WoW?
What?
Cooking.
Talking about Thanksgiving meals, Michelle. You hungry?
Not right now, but anyway, but professions in WoW I like a lot is cooking and mining and herbalism.
Ooh, I love smoking herbalisms.
Well, I'm sure they have plenty of that there too and available as well in the game. But mostly most of my characters are cooks. Only Michele does mining and herbalism, which works out good for her garrison because that's what she does in her garrison too.
You sell your
doesn't really
fucking
impress me.
mining shit for herbs?
Well, she also finds iron ore and other materials that she can use as well for the garrison.
Would you consider yourself an herb junkie?
No. I see myself as a food junkie because I'm a food. I'm like most of my characters are cooks.
What kind of food do you eat?
Like we had fish yesterday, broccoli with mashed potatoes. Pretty big dinner.
In World of
actually.
Warcraft?
Oh, in World of Warcraft, mostly just water and bread. Sometimes I'll eat pork, in the game. And I cook it myself on the fire.
Nice.
But if you ask me what's my favorite classes, I'm a mage. Most of my characters are mages.
The Diabolical says that he's a Drow tester. He tests that Drow.
I don't know what Drow tester is.
You don't know what the Drow is?
I know a draw. DRAW? No, I don't. But anyway, the thing is the book, the characters have good lives and my characters eat good. But my characters are getting bored because they haven't been played much lately. I got so many of them to play. It's like I had a dream like the elk came to my house knocking on my door wondering I was going to come back on the game again. Next thing you know, you see 16 World of Warcraft characters, 2 Sims characters, and then 2 ESO characters all show up in my living room going, when are you going to play us again?
Yeah, don't they want to go on dates or anything?
Well, I used to have fun when we were playing me and you and Sky or Paul, but you guys don't play with me anymore.
We just don't play World of Warcraft anymore. It's not that we don't play with you.
Well, you don't play me on ESO either, so. But
well,
then
right, you don't play World of Warcraft either.
I don't know which DLC you have either. I just got the base game.
Well, if you want to play Diablo, I'll play Diablo with you.
I'm sure Ed would buy turkey, but not at $35 a pound. No.
Did Ed ever get to talk to that girl on Hangouts that he wanted to talk to?
They turned out to be scammers. Adventure Quest is a 3D game. I got Adventure Quest 3D. I haven't done much with it.
They turned out to be scammers?
Yeah.
Well,
what even
you get a phone number like that, you
his...
give it to DVR and he'll take care of it.
One even had the nerve to ask for his credit card right up front.
What? One asked for his credit card right up front?
Yeah. So she could talk to him further. She wanted his credit card number, and he said no. Oh, I'm sure that maybe Ed will give you a list of somebody if Ed wants to be on the show again. He says he doesn't want to be on the show ever again because this channel is too many unserious people on it anymore. So I can't disagree with that.
Well, I mean, honestly, though, Michelle, I think if you watch that episode that you deleted, you would see that Ed was kind of being a little bit rude to you.
Well, yeah, but that's okay. He was also getting mad too, so.
And FC had to come on.
That's the reason why
Can't tell.
it's not deleted, by the way. We still have it. It's just not public.
Can we watch it?
No.
Maybe in the future?
Maybe when hell freezes over.
Well, from what I hear, it might be this winter.
Well, that's just like I said also a couple days ago that Coalhouse Gas and Electric, it said to its people that they're going to have to cut back on their fuel consumption because the imports in the United States are kind of limited right now. Do you know how much propane Silvermoon actually uses in a single month?
They don't use propane, Michelle. They have magic.
They have magic, but they also use propane too nowadays. They've adapted to a lot of human technologies as well.
Really? Where does it say that they started using propane?
In my book, it does. The book they shows that they're using propane.
Whose book? The one you wrote?
The one I wrote, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. My bad. I didn't know.
Yes, it's already snowing. Actually, me and the other weather sorceresses all kind of work together on that. We need to basically show the climate change nuts that global warming is not a thing. So we turned the thermostat down quite a few pegs.
Michelle, they'll just call it global cooling. You can never win with those types of people. They just keep changing the names and modifying the language. You gotta speak like fucking Newspeak to have a conversation with them.
Yeah, I like I said, guys. I mean, the point I want to get back to the what happened with Ed is he apologized to me for he just was getting upset, and
so
he did apologize on Thursday. He said, guys, honestly, Michelle was right. He said we didn't have time to make an order because it took us 2 hours to make that order on the 27th, to sit down on the 28th, to put this order together. It was not an instant order. It took us 2 hours.
Well, Michelle, first of all, you're arguing something that happened in history, and you won't even let us go back to, see if that's how it occurred. So, maybe you're going to claim that this occurred.
People saw it, people did record it, and the people do have copies of it, apparently, somewhere.
Who? Where are those people, Michelle?
I don't want to rehash on the past. The climate thing is the original sin, but for atheist materialists, no matter what you do, you're guilty of it. Here's the thing that I don't see them talking about anymore is what about the pollution that we've done to the planet? Besides one thing, what about all the pollution we've done to the earth? All the pollution we've done to the air? All the pollution we've done to the seas? How come no one talks about that anymore?
What are you talking about? That's all they talk about.
No, they don't talk about what about the lead in the soil? What about the arsenic? What about the chemicals that we've dumped into the oceans? No, they're worried about one thing only, a gas. They're not worried about anything else.
Michelle, it's called climate change. That's what they complain about.
They're not worried about the fact that they're poisoning the planet. They're worried about the air, and that's all they worry about. They're worrying about CO2 only. I'm worried about the whole planet. Not just one gas. What about the fact that it's harder to find clean drinking water anymore? Or the fact that you can't guarantee to grow food in certain soil that's contaminated? No one's talking about that. What about all the junk in the landfills that are still leaching into the earth? That stuff's real, man. You're going to go out there and talk about climate change. What about the rest of the planet issues? We got to reduce, reuse, and recycle. And they're not talking about that. What are you doing in Silvermoon City, Michelle? It was climate neutral, and now they use propane. And they already were using gasoline for their trucks, cars. And but they still they are still pretty much use their energy crystals too. They still use that as a primary source of energy. Although I do have diesel generators as backup to provide power if there's a shortage of power from the ley lines. Fact is, late stage capitalism and the industrial sector does more damage in a second than you pollute in a lifetime. Absolutely true. Absolutely 100% true.
Now, Michelle, you're talking all this big game about what the government needs to talk about and stuff, but what are you doing in your own home to
Well,
prevent...
we're doing the 3 R's. We do the 3 R's every day. Reduce, reuse,
You do the what?
recycle.
You have a recycle bin?
We don't have to separate. The landfill guy takes care of that at the recycling center. They have.
So what do you do, though? You said reduce, reuse, recycle.
We don't throw away a lot of empty containers, especially plastic ones. We reuse them. We try to buy food in cardboard containers instead of trying to buy prepackaged food in plastic containers.
You try to buy food in cardboard containers?
We try to find cardboard containers, biodegradable containers. We've been trying to do our best to cut down on consumable waste.
So basically, when Ed drinks beer, because they come in like a recyclable can, you guys are doing your part because that shit can be broke down.
Right. He doesn't turn them in, but we do put them in for recyclables.
Now, it seems like he's missing out on money for not turning them in.
He doesn't want to sit there collecting bags of cans. He did that before. We got stuck with so many cans that we couldn't even get them. We ended up giving them away. Gave away about $10 worth of cans. It doesn't matter.
You guys just gave away your money? What's the problem? Going down there, driving down there, I guess?
What you're saying is that having the climate issue as a talking point is more valuable to them than talking about real action for it. That's typical of the medium modus operandi. Yeah, exactly. 85 car motorcade? Excuse me? Why couldn't you make that an 85 carriage horsecade? In other words, why do you have to use mechanical vehicles to move people around? You could have easily used other means of propulsion. I mean, sure, they could have even been electric cars, but then what you're doing is you're just shifting the energy production to another location, that's all. That's the other fallacy of electric cars. You're just moving the energy production from underneath your bonnet to a power generating plant miles away. That's the only difference. Krill, it doesn't matter if you recycle...
Are you sure about that?
I'm more than sure about that. It doesn't matter if you recycle and drive whatever car they want. It's not the people driving, littering, messing things up. It's the elite. Absolutely. Stan says, does Ed cut out the plastic 6-pack holders? We don't buy things in 6-pack holders. I know what you're talking about. I cut them up when we get them, which is rare. Because, I don't want animals to get strangled on those things. You know, those things are bad news. Or does he just toss them in the trash?
Michelle, do you remember the Grigster?
Yeah.
He's live right now.
Yeah, well, tell him I said hi.
Why don't you tell him hi?
I can't. I'm on my show right now.
You can't say hi to somebody while you're on your show?
You know what I could do? Is he taking calls right now?
I don't know.
Well, I don't want to see if I can get him on the phone. How about that for the answer?
Cool.
After all,
that'd be a pretty cool crossover.
No, I don't have to crank call anybody. I got his number right here, his show number.
I said crossover.
All right, so let me see if I got this thing set up for the right audio-video channels on this thing, because I haven't set this up yet. Preferences. Let's see. Audio, video, contacts, calling. Here we go. Let's see. Video cameras, that's it, right? Gotta change that. cam twist, change this to OBS, virtual camera. First thing to do, microphone that's set to built-in line input. Microphone is set to audio to microphone settings. Output is set line output. That's fine, I guess. That looks good. All right, so let's see if I can get him on the phone. Let's see if he's answering the show today. Okay, Grigster. Let's see.
Drum roll, please.
Okay, let's see if I can get him on the phone here.
Roll the drum roll.
No answer. Oh, well.
The person whom you're trying...
Hello. Hi, Grigster. This is MicheleMarieDalene, North American Snout Queen. I'm just calling to say hello and see how you're doing. Right now, we're live. Apparently, Skynet said you're live right now, too. I was going to invite you onto the show to hang out with us. If you want, give me a call later on this number, and I will get back to you. I would like to have you come on the show sometime and see how you're doing. Okay? Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So, there
we go.
Message.
Yeah.
So just close Skype so I don't use up all my bandwidth here. So, it'll be interesting to see. Ed needs to pitch in for Turkey. I'm sure Ed will pitch in for Turkey right now. He finally realized I was right about one thing about the refrigerator is don't turn it to a warmer setting because then you make everything else soft and then frozen food starts to thaw. And I said, yeah, I told you should leave the freezer where it was. You know, that's why I said for the temperatures I do. And they're like, yeah, but he uses too much energy. Don't worry about the energy. Worry about the fact that you got a refrigerator freezer full of about $200 worth of food. You really seriously went into throwing away $200 worth of food? No. Please do subscribe. Click on the blue subscribe NASQ box below. Okay, absolutely. And I'll give a link to that too. You can subscribe as well.
Talking to Nightbot, Michelle?
Yeah. I'm just reading what Nightbot wrote, punched up on the screen for you guys.
You should have Nightbot drop some jokes in the chat.
I actually have to get Nightbot to post a lot more links in the chat. One of the things is, for example, it doesn't tell you guys easily how to get the elf ears. And we're still going to have a contest for some more elf ears.
Are you doing a night show tonight?
Yes. And I have 2 packs of thick elf ears available for a contest. So,
Michelle, I saw a picture of those elf ears and they look like vagina.
no, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Michelle, I saw a photo.
I've seen strap-on vaginas. They don't look like those.
What's a strap-on vagina? I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yes, they make them.
Really?
Yep. They also make the kind you can also attach for using medical adhesive too as prosthetics. I've seen those also.
Do they make strap-on childbirthing kits where you can pretend you have a baby and it just pops out or something?
Those I've seen those. They're part of an educational means of teaching about parenting. They're a useful resource. So yeah, they do have those. They are available. They are a thing.
How much do you think those go for?
The kind that glue on or the strap on?
Did you say glue on?
They also have an adhesive one that holds on like my ears do.
Really?
Yes.
Really. What do they use for the adhesive? I mean, they don't use spirit gum, do they?
They use the same stuff that I use.
Spirit gum?
Yeah.
What did it get too wet?
Adhesive.
Wouldn't it get too wet or something? Like, I mean, how does spirit gum work with water?
It's water resistant. It's not.
Oh.
It's made out of an alcohol, thus the name spirit gum. It's alcohol based.
I thought it was called spirit gum because, like, it had like a spearmint taste.
No, that's spirit. SPIRT. It's
Right, I know,
alcohol-based
but it sounds like it's minty and fresh.
Well, that's what they're using for the adhesive. That's what they're recommended even for the elf ears. I use something called medical FDA approved glue called Prozaid, which is
Prozaid.
right here. And
Prozaid.
It's right here. This is the stuff here.
Did John Madden ever like promote that? I feel like maybe I heard John Madden.
You probably can't even see it too well. Let me get you zoom up on the container. This stuff is not cheap.
Promoted that shit.
It's not cheap by any stretch of imagination. If you buy this stuff, you gotta buy it in the warmer weather. You cannot buy it in the wintertime.
Michelle, how much is not cheap?
This bottle here, 2 ounces, costs about $16.
2 ounces.
That was before the shipping fiasco.
How much, like, spirit lube do you need?
This will last me about a year. If you don't spill it, this will last about a year.
About a year?
Yeah. This is the glue I use.
It's
made in New Jersey. It's FDA approved.
$16 for a year is not that much money.
No, it's not. It's a 2 ounce bottle for my ears will last me about a year. You just put it on. You just brush it on the latex ears, and then they just stick on, and they can be stuck on.
Brush it.
Yeah, with a Q-tip.
Use like a hair comb.
No. You use a Q-tip. You just put it on, and then you let it dry. It stays sticky, tacky, and then you just put it on your ears. It's supposed to be a contact cement, but the problem is that when you put it on the ears, on top of the rubber ears, it gets kind of hard to get it on because my hair gets all caught up in it. So I found that what works for me is just to put it on the latex ears, let it get tacky, and then I just put it on my regular ears, and that's it. And it stays in place.
And you, like, I just want to bring it back. So, like, you really don't believe that those ears kind of look like labia lips?
They look like what?
Labia.
No, they don't.
No.
So, can Ed cool off?
You've seen
the
labia before, right?
Yes, Dan, he can, and yes, he's talking about storing if he buys beer in bulk, he's thinking about basically storing them outside in a storage bin on the porch because it's not heated, so that it'll keep his beer frozen or cold enough to be preserved. He can even buy kegs too if he wanted to.
Right, it's getting so fucking cold out. Michelle, can't you just cool it down for him? Can't you freeze the bottle up for him?
It takes a lot of energy to do that. Don't forget, where does heat gotta go? Heat has to be moved from one place to another.
How much energy does it require for you to cool a bottle?
Energy consumption depends because, remember, it's a factor of time. Clearly, sudden cooling takes a lot more energy than slow, gradual cooling.
But you are a snow queen, so, like, wouldn't you be able to, like, just cool a bottle real easy, like? I mean, you control the weather.
I don't find freezing beer easy, especially when you're trying to do it very quickly. It takes a lot of energy to do that. After all, how many calories do you think it takes to actually remove heat from one subject to another? And where does all the heat go to? It goes into me, which makes me hot.
Michelle, Red says to stop cooling down the weather because the bees are getting too cold.
Well, the bees already have their hives. That's what they go into to keep warm in the wintertime. Maybe someday bees will come up with central heating. instead of depending on their exothermic nature. But that's something that the bees will have to figure out on their own.
What?
The bees are exothermic. They make heat.
Did you just say that the bees got to figure it out on their own?
To make their own external heat sources. If they were to have central heating, they would have to figure out how to make heat, besides from generating from themselves. I.e., fire anyone? Compost heaps? I'm sure that they...
Michelle, Stan wants to know, what about homeless Mike, though? Like, is there any room on the couch for homeless Mike this winter if it gets too cold?
He's already got a place to go. He's already arranged it with somebody else.
Well, if that doesn't work out and he, like, attacks them, would you let him stay at your house?
It says you're kicking out winter too fast. Right now, it's not even my season yet, guys. Whoever the autumn steward is they're the ones that are kicking it off too fast, getting ready for me. I think they're just as excited to see me basically freeze everybody's salad.
Are you going to be giving us snow jobs this year?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much.
There's going to be a lot of snow this year, absolutely. Especially for the East Coast.
How many inches?
I don't know. Total snow accumulation, I think probably about 120 inches of snow. Minimum.
Holy shit, Michelle. That's like
10 feet of snow.
That's like 10 dongs.
Total snow probably will be like close to more like 240 inches. Or 20 feet of snow.
Michelle, that's 20 dongs.
I don't know what that is. We know you control fall. Well, I don't really control fall, no. That's someone else's work.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Alright. You don't.
No, I don't control fall. Someone else does that. But
I'm starting to wonder about the whole winter weather thing, too. You're going to have to cool down a beer for...
he can always throw the beers in the storage bin outside. They'll be plenty cold. That brings a good question, though. That brings a good question, though, about beer. I thought once you put it in cans, it didn't go bad. Because the cans are pasteurized.
Yeah.
Unlike keg beer, which isn't. But then why would you need refrigeration for cans of beer?
Michelle, I don't understand why there's a issue with cold beer in the house with the Snow Queen.
There isn't, except as I said, it takes a long time to keep beer cold. Right now, it's already got me busy doing a million other things at the same time.
Yeah, but if I lived with the Snow Queen, I would expect that my beer is always cold.
Well,
if my beer is room temperature,
Ed doesn't drink beer.
I'm gonna think that you're mad.
Ed doesn't drink warm beer. He doesn't like warm beer. He says to me, the only problem with warm beer is that the cans can burst open. And I said, wait a second. I thought the beer was already fermented. I thought the beer was already pasteurized so it would stop the fermentation process. You're implying to me that the beer has not stopped fermenting yet? Which means that the only way a can of beer could burst open is if it's still fermenting inside the can. Which is good. It means that you can just increase the amount of alcohol content by fermenting the beer in a warmer situation. I digress. Anyway. So when are you going to play World of Warcraft again?
When are you going to play Diablo?
I don't know. When are you going to play ESO?
When are you going to play Jack game?
I don't know which one that one is.
Wasn't that the game that we played where we got to fill in the blank?
Whenever you gonna try StarCraft? It sounds stupid, but I wonder about StarCraft.
I played StarCraft.
Yeah.
You should try it. It's free to play.
Okay. Stan says you're kidding. You're kicking off the Yule on the evening of December 20th at 0000 hours UTC, but shouldn't you really be kicking off at 0000 December 21st on the International Dateline of the Pacific?
Michelle, I'd like to see you play a dating game.
Oh, boy. I don't want to play a dating game, but okay, let me explain this about the Universal Coordinated Time thing. December 21st at 0000 hours is 7 o'clock, December 20th, our time. Okay? So, 7 o'clock, December 20th is the beginning of Yule. Mother Goddess decided, since that's the Greenwich Mean Time or Universal Coordinated Time, that she would use that as the start of Yule. Because it makes it easy for everybody to keep a track of the everyday coronation rituals.
Can we talk to Mother God?
What's... Oh, I'm not doing channeling right now. No.
How does one get a chance to talk to Mother God through you?
Talk to Mother God through you. I don't usually channel Mother God much at all, but maybe sometimes I'll relay messages through. But That's not the same thing as channeling. Channeling is almost like when you can actually give up your body for her to use your body.
Do you do it for money?
I've done it for the coronation. That was the only time I did it. Recently with Mother God. I've done Satan a couple of times in the past. Afterwards, I didn't like doing that one. And I'm not
Why
interested
did you
in
do
doing Satan again.
Why did you do that, Michelle?
Why would I do what? I did that back on the Cringe Report days. Halloween. Remember the Halloween special?
Oh, I missed out on some of those. Unfortunately.
I think everything is a direct conversation between God and His creation. Probably. And God will talk to His creation, whatever form it is most appropriate for that creature.
Michelle, I don't think you ever answered me earlier about the night show tonight.
Yes, we are having a late night show tonight.
How are your night shows doing in views?
Right now we have 2. We have Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah, and how are they doing in views?
They're doing okay. But last Wednesday's show was a little bit unusual, as you remember, so that's really beside the point.
Right, you did have 30 views.
So we're going to be redoing the night show, of course, tonight. Hopefully it'll be more of a normal baseline.
What do you want to do tonight? We got to do something a little bit different. What do you say?
What's that night show?
I said let's do something.
The night show is the same as the day show, but it's at night. It starts at 7 o'clock Eastern U.S.
the night show is not the same as the day show. Tell them the truth. Tell them the truth.
It pretty much is, though, because we're not taking any more phone calls. Because I got to agree with Craig Senior on this. He says it's too bad that you had so many phone calls that were ruining the show for you and everybody else. And he said that really the night shows could have been much better if we had more legitimate callers. And it wasn't 9 out of 10 times the same guy calling, doing the same excuses.
I think what we should do, Michelle, is make some outbound calls.
Well, I just left a message with Gregster. I don't know when he's going to get back to me.
Well, I mean, there's got to be some other people we can call.
Krell says, I think everything is a direct conversation between God and His creation. Krell says, I don't reject the divine feminine, but I call a man because of his creative tendencies.
Why don't we call the White House?
Well, maybe there's 2 gods, Krell. I mean, maybe there's 2 gods. Could it be 2 gods? I mean, a male and a female god? Why not? Makes sense, right? For it says, let us create man in our image. and this male and female, he created them.
How many gods do you think there are, Michelle?
I don't know. I have
2,
lost track
3,
of how many
4?
gods there are, but there are probably quite a few. There's probably quite a few gods. Who knows how many gods there really are in the universe?
Who really cares?
It doesn't matter. You believe in whichever god you want.
Alright, so again, night show. What are we going to do differently tonight? What can we do,
I don't
Michelle?
know. I have no idea. I don't know what the night show is going to be like. But let's...
We need to look at some politics shit, right?
Wait a minute. Scanner, stop. Let me just point one thing out. Ed has said he's not doing the night shows anymore. So
okay, fine. We're not doing the night show with Ed. Fine, whatever. What else?
That's it. It's not a player on the night show. Whatever happens in the night show it doesn't involve Ed because he doesn't want to be part of it.
Right. Okay. Fine. Whatever.
I just answered that, Oral. He said no. He doesn't want to be on any night shows or any day shows ever again. He doesn't like what people have been saying about him and how they've been teasing him on the night show. He doesn't want to be part of that. Well, too bad. Then you go on Facebook, you ask him to be on the night show. That's all I can tell you.
Maybe we will. We might ask about it tonight, though.
Doesn't mean he's going to say yes.
Doesn't mean he's going to say yes, guys. But what are we going to do differently tonight,
I don't know.
Michelle?
Well, kind of what we do right now. But let's put it this way. At the very least, you get you. We probably can get Craig on here. Maybe a few other people on the panel. That works out better anyway. What's his
All right.
Facebook?
What about if we play
just
a game
search for Edward
tonight,
Michno.
Michelle?
EDWARD space MICHNO. How hard's that?
Yeah, Oral did call the cops on you guys, so that's fucked up.
So now he doesn't want to be on the show anymore because what was said. I think people really razzed him pretty bad, even on Facebook, who watched the night show. They ripped him a new one just to tell you that's why you upset him, that he doesn't want to be involved with that.
He did it to himself, Michelle. He did it to himself.
Viewers link night. You take links under 5 minutes a piece from that and donations, and we watch them together. Nah, I don't think so. I would have to pre-screen every single one of them because of the rules, just to make sure. And I know that sounds boring, but that's just the nature of the way YouTube is nowadays. It's not like it was when we were on Discord. On Discord, we could do that and get away with it. No one has a problem. He was worried about direct video or DV. I don't know what DV is.
He was worried that we were going to expose him for the woman beater that he is.
People already were ripping him a new one every time he would go on Facebook because they kept mentioning the night show to him. People know about the night show.
Well, where did people even get the idea that he was blowing little kids?
I don't know where that came from, but that's not appropriate. But anyway,
That's
came up with the
against
idea
the
someone
law.
allegedly saying that I drink pee. I don't drink pee, I drink tea. Right now I'm drinking coffee, but this kind of stuff is what he doesn't want to be involved with. And I don't blame him.
Right. But tonight, I don't want to talk about any of that shit.
I don't know what we're going to talk about. I have no idea.
Can we look at, like, news articles on the Drudge Report or something?
Maybe. Maybe I can read you the rest of the book. I only read you small.
Oh, we don't want to read a book, Michelle.
Well,
there's got to be some interesting headlines out there, you know.
Actually,
watched,
Oral, that's
Johnny
not
Carson.
necessarily
You
true.
watched
Oral, that's
Jay
not
Leno.
Well, let me explain something about pee. It is not necessarily
Jimmy Kimmel.
What she's saying is she says pee is sterile. No, it's not. Especially not if it is allowed to ferment. Because bacteria do develop in it. It's not a sterile environment at all.
Can you make alcohol out of pee?
No. But you can
What's
make
Pruno?
But you can make ammonia, which can be used for cleaning your house.
Wait, you can clean your house with pee?
Because it breaks down into uric acid, which breaks down into ammonia. Democles says they believe the farts from the horses from an 85 carriage deal would be worse than 85 cars. I don't know if it's any. I don't think it's any better or any worse. It's honestly, it certainly wouldn't.
I gotta go, Michelle.
It would be going about the same speed. Trust me. You think about it. You know, how well fine-tuned are those cars to make sure that the CO2 is within tolerance? What about the nitrous oxide, the sulfur dioxides? Are they all running on gasoline, or some of them running on diesel? Oh yeah, it's another thing that pee can be used for. Urea can be used in post-combustion filters on diesel engines to help cut back on the nitrates and the sulfur dioxide emissions. They call the urea filters. Urea filtering. MicheleMarieDalene discussed the news tonight. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the next year when we're heading for better or for worse. Trust me, you really don't want to know my opinion about the world and the news. Honestly, we're not going to be doing any better. Yeah, I know. Yes, I know. Because there's a lot of sulfur dioxide in diesel. But when it comes to energy density, diesel fuel has more energy per kilogram than gasoline. It's also a lot safer to store. You gotta remember that gasoline has a very low boiling point. And whereas diesel has a higher boiling point, so it's not as easy to combust. Well, I think for some things like buses, electric vehicles could make sense, as long as people can keep them charged up. But then what you're doing is you're just moving the energy reduction. Instead of being in the bus, you're moving it instead to a power plant. And that just increases the amount of pollution, because now you're burning more coal or oil or natural gas to produce electricity to make the same amount of energy that you could for diesel. I know there are electric planes now, yes. Turboprop engines do exist. Electric planes with propellers do exist. They are coming up with a prototype electric jet engine. How does that make jet? Where's the compression stage? Where's the... Obviously, it sounds more like an ion pulse engine for space travel. Well, in the United States, 34% of all power is produced by nuclear. But what about the nuclear byproducts, the nuclear waste of the spent fuel rods? Where do we put those? We put them in Yucca Mountain. Where's Yucca Mountain? It's in New Mexico. And what good is that going to do us when that mountain gets full? It's one of the few only remaining high nuclear waste storage facilities. Yucca Mountain is a large place, but there's still a lot of nuclear fuel rods still stored in power plants all across the country in waste storage pools. With the fusion for each individual residence. Well, it's funny. Fusion reactors at this point right now are not yet even viable for commercial applications at this point. Still not quite able to make a stable cold fusion reaction to generate energy, but once we can manage to get the fusion reaction started and maintain it safely, then we would definitely have something that would produce a lot of energy with less waste. Is a lot of nuclear waste is leaking all around the world. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's another problem with nuclear. It's, in some ways, you're just exchanging one pollutant for another one. Again, that's where modern technology has basically failed the people. I think seriously, what we should do is basically just slingshot all the nuclear waste products to the sun. Actually, they got something better at the working on now. It's not really new, but it's finally becoming viable for some things. Is nuclear batteries. That is, you can take nuclear waste, encapsulate it in artificial sapphire, and make it into a nuclear power bank that can run your radio for like 10,000 years, 30,000 years. In fact, the capacitors are probably likely to go bad before the actual battery ever dies. You have an idea? Well, we don't know. I think it's also realistically it's not feasibly affordable to slingshot nuclear waste into the sun. I don't think it would be affordable anyway. I mean, the sun is like 2 astronomical units away. How are you gonna? It takes 30 minutes for the sun to get here. So you get the idea. It's not close. So basically, the slingshot nuclear waste in space. How do you know it's not going to land on another planet instead? Oops, sorry, I hit Mercury by mistake. Oh yeah, like they did in Space 1999. All of a sudden, they have a nuclear waste explosion. All of a sudden, it shoots their moon into the outer space. Yeah, that'd be just like in Space 1999. That was a pretty cool series. Space 1999 is a pretty cool series. Radiation particles are different from this. The suns can cause bad effects. Right. In this case, it would be using the sun as a giant incinerator more than anything. Maybe that wouldn't be the best choice either. So what the question is that's the reason why scientists are wondering what to do with nuclear waste. That's why people really don't think nuclear waste is a good long-term solution. But throwing it in the ground certainly sounds stupid. Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand. I understand fine. The problem is either way. Nuclear energy, a great idea. But the problem is with fission, especially fission nuclear reactors, what we're talking about here, is there's waste products that don't exactly help disposal. Oh, yeah, probably. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true because even in the sun now, when normal reactions are turning hydrogen into helium, the question is how long? I mean, they say the sun is a fusion reactor because they said it splits hydrogen and helium, but what happens when it runs out of fuel? Then it starts to consume itself. I don't know about sun holes. You're talking about the black spots in the sun. Those are caused by magnetic fields. But a geomagnetic storm or corona mass ejection certainly wouldn't do us any good, especially if it hits our Earth, right? It's already bad enough with CMEs, like the Carrington event. So yeah, I don't know if sending the stuff to the sun would help it either. So the problem is maybe that's why the Earth is in an isolated quarantine universe from the rest of the universe. People don't think about it, but it's true. Why do you think we see so very few ETs? It seems like all the planets and stars seem to be empty of life. Notice I said seem, not that they necessarily are. We may be out of phase with the rest of the universe, so we don't see the life on the other planets. That may have been on purpose because we're out of the pan-dimensional platform that the rest of the life of the universe is on. I know it does. Like I said, I don't know a lot about nuclear radiation. I'm not a nuclear scientist. I'm just a housewife. I know it's a little bit about this stuff. But the point is that we got to do something about it. Of course, you can bet the climate change people don't like the thought of nuclear waste either. But for the time being, nuclear is probably the closest thing you can get to something that would meet all the Greta Thunbergs of the world, right? Basically, you get energy and you just store the waste product somewhere on the site for the time being. But that's not a long-term solution. That's just an excuse. Nuclear waste is supposed to get less worse over time, but there are cases when it gets way worse over time. Yeah, when you say time, 35,000 years is a pretty long time. We could easily fill up the Earth completely by nuclear waste. 35,000 years comes along, so the Earth would always be contaminated. What did you want to do when you were in school? I don't know. I wanted to be an electrician, and I also was interested in HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. I also was interested in the arts and communication, like being a DJ, and I like figure skating too. But obviously, the closest one I got to be was a communication person, because that's what I do on YouTube. I never did become an HVAC tech. I never became a fully licensed E1 or E2 electrician, even though I did study like crazy to learn it. So U2 is probably the closest job that I got. That was closest to what I wanted to do in high school, which was be in communications arts or radio. But YouTube is more video than radio, but that's okay. We used to do podcasts too on Shellcast. I mean, not Shellcast. On You Listen. We still do sometimes do a broadcast on youlisten.org or com. I just set up for SoundCloud, but I don't really quite know how to upload. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired. I don't know exactly how to upload the audio streams to SoundCloud. There seems to be some catches to it. I don't know. Well, I do my DJ spots when you listen to AM 1610 Silvermoon Radio. So, if you want to listen to Silvermoon Radio, you'll even hear me singing the jingle sometimes. This is NASQ Live. It's so outside, better being in code, etc. Well, like I said, this stream is called Baby It's Cold Inside for a reason. Right now, it's probably warmer outside than it is in here. It's supposed to be about 9 degrees Celsius today. All I know is when I get done with the show, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to bed and take a nap. Because I did sleep some this morning, but it's kind of weather. It's kind of snuggle weather, just lay in bed with a significant other, keep warm. And it says, yeah. Well, still don't know why I got a yellow dollar sign in this stream. I don't know why. Why does YouTube do that to me? What exactly in the stream makes it a yellow dollar sign? I don't understand how that works. We didn't use any nasty language. We didn't talk about bad stuff. We talked about the environmental issue. Oh, I've had to request a review? Yes. Send it in. I don't know. I just can't figure out why I would get a yellow dollar sign. After all, we are going to be live today. We are going to have a live show tonight and Wednesday night. We're going to be talking about everyday things. Maybe have some panel discussions. Maybe even have a few phone calls. Who knows? Well, theoretically speaking, it is close. About 15 minutes. 18 minutes. 18 minutes. Yeah. Maybe tonight I'll play World of Warcraft instead. Yeah, it would count for a night show in a way. But we don't have to do a live stream and play World of Warcraft tonight. Live stream? What, you want a live stream room? MicheleMarieDalene, can you video interview one or two of the Soup Kitchen patrons? I tried. George is not so comfortable being on camera. Maybe I can get him to do an audio recording, but I can't guarantee I can get a video recording with him. What do they think in the future? How did they get to the point where they're relying on charity to eat and survive? I don't know. It's the night show. The World of Warcraft. I do have to agree with Michaela, my character, who talked to me in that dream and said, "Look, we need you here." I mean, yes, we're your characters, but we'd like to see us progress a little further in the game than we are. She's a level 53 to 53 and a half, so she's kind of got a valid reason to be 53 and a third. Okay, 53 and a third. So I can see why she's saying that. She would like to see her progress further in the game. How you doing, CB? Oh yeah, what I still would like to do is get a bunch of springs in different lengths and still see if I can tune this thing. Make a harp of springs. a job on my fingernails. So, anyway, so we're going to probably be coming close to about 160 to $180 this month. So maybe we can finally save up and put that money aside. And then maybe next month we can save up some more and put that money aside. And then maybe I can go ahead and get some nice stuff done. Stimulus bills, stimulus talks. Joe Manchin says no because he wants to walk. There. Because he said the current bill, for those you wanted to know, is basically not what he wants. He does not feel it's a stimulus bill at all. It's a green agenda BS put into a package that's mislabeled as a stimulus bill. The only thing it's going to stimulate is the $450,000 per person that is being ordered to settle out of court per infraction, per illegal. People rightfully are saying is they don't believe the government should have to pay any illegal people anything, especially not $450,000 per person. They said that's just too much, and I have to agree with them on that. Yeah, that's a lot of money just to pay somebody, just to, I don't know. As far as somebody said that President Lincoln offered the Afro-American freed slaves 40 acres of land and a mule. Well, gee. Someone said to me, hey, Michelle, would you like 40 acres of land and a mule? I would say, could you change it to 40 acres of land and a mare so I could have a horse, so I could actually have foals? That would be interesting. Just because President Lincoln said 40 acres and a mule, the problem is he didn't say where the 40 acres would be located. Yeah, I don't think this stimulus bill is going to come out of this bill. Never happened. Spoken mirrors. This bill is so full of special interest legislation, it's not even funny. I don't even know if we're going to get Medicare reform out of this either. I'm not mad at Joe Manchin for this, because me and Ed talked about it. We both agreed. In some way, Joe Manchin is the only thing that's keeping the progressives in bay. If he and Kirsten Sinema signed off on this legislation, what G.K. Chesterton proposes in the idea of distribution. Yeah, well, that's fine. I wish I had 40 acres. Give me 40 acres. I'll turn this rig around. It's by far the easiest way that I have found. Some guys can turn around a dime right downtown, but give me 40 acres. I'll turn this rig around. African American descendants of slaves are still waiting for that 40 acres. Yeah, I know, but like I said, the thing is, now where would your 40 acres be located? I mean, Alaska? Texas? At that time, the United States was still going westward. Expansion. I don't know if we have 40 acres laying around. Although government does have a lot of Bureau of Land Management managers out in Arizona, but I don't know. in the Southwest, but I don't know if that's going to do much good. But I certainly would take the 40 acres. I would have said nicely, said, you know what? Give me 10. Give me 10 acres and a horse. So that I can at least, like I said, maybe I can find a neighbor that has a horse, then we can have more foals. You know, that'd be nice. Have foals, a few more horses. Start a horse farm. I actually wonder what the closed captions translates that to. I don't know why my voice has the worst luck with closed captions. Foal. F-O-A-L. Oh my god, that is totally weird. Full foam O? Full foam O. Full. F-O-A-L. Oh, at least I can spell it right, but I just can't seem to see it right. Full. Full, 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 full. Stupid Connecticut accent. Can't even do anything right. Yeah, well. And a mule is no good, except for force. I mean, it has a lot of traction effort behind a mule, but the problem is it can't breed. A mule is a hybrid of a horse and a donkey. Or is it donkey? Is it donkey? What? Yeah, a mule is a hybrid between a horse and a donkey. Sure, have a horse farm. Raise horses. Then you can actually also provide motive or traction effort for pulling things around. I like horses. Let's put it this way. They love to serve. And, you're not really making them do anything that is out of natural for them. Okay, sure, you're attaching your carriage to it, but guess what? It's still a horse. A horse enjoys doing things. I think my horse would get kind of fat and lazy, though, because I don't travel much. Well, I like horses. I mean, especially the Arabian horses. And of course, the chestnut mares are nice too. Horses are nice. They're nice because they're living creatures and, unlike a car engine which has no personality whatsoever. Oh, I don't know. Some people say inanimate objects have personalities. I don't know if that's true. I never really got into that. Although, in the book, Michelle Marie does get into that. I was taking care of horses for a friend last week. They live a lot longer than I thought. Yeah, 25 to 30 years. Horses will be sought after the food in the coming age of collapse. Well, soya green is certainly not an unlikely possibility. Soya green may very be a realistic reality. You would definitely not say that my meat is definitely lean meat, because it's not lean meat. It's probably 75% fat. Maybe 50% lean. I don't know. But right now, I think what's killing the industry more than anything is the fact is that it's so dependent on mass mechanization. If all the climate change people keep getting a wish, they're going to cost of raising animal food is going to go through the roof. Cattle ranching is not cheap, for those of you who don't know that. But I think horses will continue to remain a motive, attractive energy source for a long time to come. I think once they successfully do what Gavin Newsom, as I call him, Nuisance, wants to do in California, shut down the refinery in 2025, that they're going to be need for horses and mules and oxen to pull vehicles throughout Los Angeles, San Fran, and all the areas of California, because there may not be enough electric vehicles to make up for all the loss of gasoline vehicles. That's such a funny coincidence. I was talking about how a pronouns foul this morning over coffee. But if I say foul, Foul, like a foul stench, sometimes the closed captions, they make it come out as FOWL, foul, like in bird. But actually, it's funny, it actually translated foul correctly when I said it. And it's translated into fall, FALL. Oh, come on, captions. You gotta work on this a bit better. Definitely, there's a lot of need for different creatures. We've always had a working relationship with animals. Before the gasoline engine came to be, or the steam engine before that. Horses, mules, oxen, donkeys, they were all part of our transportation system. The time is up when the cute kitchen starts serving. Well, they're not. I think what's something like the Greenpeace people would like to see, and the soup kitchen probably wouldn't be the one to do it, is start serving vegetarian fare. I mean, I remember when we had, oh my God, what's the Greenpeace candidate there? Running for president. I can't, her name slips my mind right now, but anyway, she was very much pro-vegetarian. Vegan, not vegetarian. Screw vegetarian. She was pro-vegan. She didn't want to use any animal products at all. And, well, I don't think we can go there. I don't think we can go totally vegan and large for long term. I think that would be bad for the body. Because the human body still depends on protein from animal meat. So, I think we need to come to grips that the reason why human minds have grown so much is from eating animal flesh. That's how we got smarter and how we were able to train our brains as good as they have. Philip K. Dick, author of Blade Runner, said Total Recall, etc., survived on horse meat for a few years when in poverty. Okay. Well, right. Like I said, we have a long way to go here. But improving the well-being of our human race. But at least I can say one thing about a horse, and you can't lie to me with this. As I said, a horse has a personality. Unlike a Briggs & Stratton engine from your lawnmower, which probably doesn't have any kind of emotions whatsoever, there are days when your horse is going to feel good and great, wants to do a good job, and there's going to be days when the horse is just not working well for you. I don't know why. Well, someone say, well, that's where the internal combustion engine's nice because it's consistent. Yeah, but they do wear out, though, just like animals do. I don't know, guys. The truth is, we human beings are so much enamored into our technology that we forget that there's a whole nother part of the system. I'll have to see what happens with the future. Could animal power become a thing in the future? Could we basically revert to going back to horse and carriages because of the issue that there may not be enough energy in the power grid to keep charging all those Teslas and Nissan Leafs? America hasn't had the mass starvation experienced by China, Russia, or other developed countries. We will be so much further behind the ball when that happens. No, but we also have a huge amount of land to grow food on. As long as we can grow food, we should be set. And of course, as long as we can get the food to the markets, that's definitely a problem. I don't know. As I said, I think the day is going to come when we're going to have to give up on gasoline engines. Not because of climate change accords or anything, but because it's just not economically to continue on with it. Craig says, "Hi Michelle, I went to Best Buy yesterday and got a headset, but not hooked up yet, so I don't want to come on today. I thought everything is well." Everything's fine. Skynet was on earlier this morning. I had him on the show on the panel. He sounded fine. And also noticed that the mosquito's gone. So that's kind of cool. Best Buy had very few TVs on the shelves, not too much computers. Either all laptops in stock are way down. Speaking of that, I gotta check its tracking number for something he ordered this afternoon. So, thank God for mosquito is gone. Yeah, I know. And also, we got it now where the your sound isn't going to be pegging our meters anymore either. So, as you know, we have the limiters now enabled. Don't forget, we have a live stream tonight, guys. So let's see. Two games likely. Yeah. Currently, right now, the temperature in Winston is 7 degrees Celsius. It's like 44 degrees Fahrenheit, in case you guys wanted to know that. Flex says, "That's too bad. I like Best Buy, just not to be solely dependent on Amazon. Plus, I like the rewards." Okay. Also, Ed and I were looking at trying to find some new tables for the studio. And as you don't know, Ed and I were talking about what I want to do in my side of the apartment room, which is there. You can see it where we used to use the other green screen, so that we could again. That green screen is not exactly the same shade as this green screen, so I don't know if I can get the two green screens to chroma key up, and if I can, that'd be great, but I don't know. I want to put a table there so that I can have an anchor desk. And then Ed says to me, he says, yeah, but what's wrong with your current layout? Oh, so, well, I got a pole in the way. I said, so I kind of would like to be able to have another place I can have interview guests and things like that. Well, happy Thursday, Crail. Happy Thursday, Tuesday. Red Foreman, happy Tuesday. Slick this morning. Red Foreman, good morning. I hope you're all well. Red Foreman says, I'm well, Craig. Thanks for asking. He continues to say good morning to Stan. It's a nice day out. Get out, enjoy it if you can. What did Craig have for breakfast today? I don't know. Maybe he'll tell you. I'm going to assume he had a nice breakfast and good time with his morning. Well, speaking of Patreon, we still need people to join Patreon. If you guys could join Patreon, it would be greatly helpful, which is right here. Patreon is where you can find the Silvermoon replays. I didn't upload today's yet, or the Sundays yet. I'm going to upload it this afternoon and get it up there on Silvermoon Radio, and then get that out on the Patreon link. Patreon. Yeah. Red, all I had was a cup of coffee. I worked last night from 12 to 7 a.m. I'm having my coffee and that's it. Yeah, I understand that. People don't understand that for a person of your age, working those long hours is hard on you. I will, Craig Sr. heading over to Waterbury for lunch and then some business this afternoon. Yeah. Well, either way, making coffee now. I'm drinking coffee from last night. We had left in the pot. I gotta get a pot ready to go for later on this morning for Ed when he wakes up. That's probably when I'm gonna tumble in the bed afterwards so that he can do what he's gonna do on the computer, and then I gotta do my routine as well. But that's just the way we do it around here sometimes. Michelle, who or what caused your interest in the esoteric and becoming the Snow Queen? I've always been interested in the spiritual realm and the weather, and I was watching the movie The Snow Queen with Bridget Fonda, and it was something about the movie that spoke to me about that was what you were supposed to been, or were supposed to be as the Snow Queen, and I was like, well, what exactly, I'm supposed to kidnap children? No. No. You're supposed to help manage the winter seasonal weather. I said, oh, okay. So, of course, at the time, I was like, but Mother, how can I do that? I don't even know anything about that level of meteorology, especially sorcery. But that's when she said, you will learn. This is back in 2004, and I studied and I learned. And I continued my research ever since I was a teenager in meteorology. But then I went back to it, studying the weather patterns, and then in 2011, on December 21st, at 7 p.m. local time, I was crowned the North American Snow Queen. Craig Sr. says, Stan, I hope business meeting goes well and it's paid for by your company, and maybe have a lobster too, and most of all, close the deal, the art of the deal. Krell says, LOL, Craig is the legend that ran Martin off. Yeah. Oh, Martin, unfortunately, is still around, but he's not on the show anymore. Because I don't want to deal with him on this channel. I still see him occasionally lurking around on other networks. Michelle, do you like lobster? No, I don't eat lobster. I never had it, but I don't like it. It just looks gross. Sorry. I am very patient. Patience isn't the same thing as you can't stand somebody. You can still be patient and still have your distaste for somebody. Michelle Marie, I suggest you read Prospero's America, the biography of Connecticut's first governor, the alchemist physician John Winthrop Jr. Craig Sr. said, I think the best thing for Martin is to go into service and go through basic training. That will straighten him up straight as a stick. Yeah, he certainly could get involved with the Canadian military. I'm sure the Canadians could use him for something. I think in the end it would end up becoming the version of Gomer Pyle USMC. Oh no! Anyway, right? Can you imagine Gomer Pyle in the Canadian military? I don't know. I remember all the stuff about Gomer Pyle. I remember some of the episodes and some of the zaniness. I could just see Martin in the military. My God, he doesn't even like fighting. Gee, Sarge, I don't want to hold this bayonet. Oh, you're holding it. We don't do that in Bulgaria. Let's say Bulgaria, maggot. You hold that bayonet, you point it at that target, and you stab it. Okay. Jeez. Oh, whatever. We'll have to figure it out. Somewhere in the world, things will normalize. Some people just need to get their butt bent, but no one has done it yet. I'm not wishing violence. I just know that I fixed my attention problem when I was young. Craig says, Red Foreman, he will either make it or break it. I'm sure anybody that has been in the service remembers the serial numbers. I can't remember anything else, but I remember that. It's crazy. Yeah. Looks like I remember my social security number. They make you memorize that more than anything. I'm just a number on a sheet of paper. I'm not a human anymore. I'm just a number on a sheet of paper. I'm not a human anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 4. That's my number and it makes me snore. Okay. But it's true though. Yep. By the way, it's 12:16. Craig Sr. says, Crail, same here, broke me down like a little baby. The nice thing I liked about it was everybody was treated the same. There was no colors and nationalities that didn't get along. My brothers. Get alone, my brothers. Heart. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's the kind of same thing also on their side too, with their own military members. I'm very glad to see you happy. I was kind of worried about you for a while, but now you're happy. That's good. Yeah. Well, it wasn't be any reason not to be happy. I just glad I got rid of the mosquito, and that worked it out, and that I realized was right when I said to him. I said after he apologized on Thursday and Friday, I said Michelle was right. That would have been not possible for us to go shopping that same night on Wednesday night to get beer because it took us 2 hours to make a shopping list. We actually did 2 shopping trips on the 27th and the 28th. On the 27th, we bought some more groceries for the house, and then on the 28th, we bought some more groceries when Steve went shopping. Also, when he got paid his food stamps. He already had his food stamps. Oh, okay. Oh, you mean this week? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did. So our house is full right now of food. We had a lot of people watching the reruns yesterday. I have to be honest when I say this, I was surprised. I didn't think yesterday's show was going to have a lot of rerun viewers, but it did. I mean, we have more right now, than we did in the whole show and yesterday, but still, I didn't expect us to see the show that was like a train wreck would have that many people watching it, but it did. People watched the rerun, and a lot of people did. Let's see, we had 96 viewers from yesterday. And that was just amazing to think about it. The 96 people were there yesterday, watching the live stream yesterday, with 4 comments. So I reached out a lot of people. How you doing, Middle Kitty? I was talking to Ed about drinking Michelob Ultra. Has no sugar in it whatsoever and has 0 calories. Okay, well, I never heard of Michelob Ultra, so I have no idea anything about Michelob. By the way, we're going to be having another contest coming up for 2 pairs of heavy-duty ears. These are the heavy-duty ears, not the cheap ears. Probably... Did I forget to say they were brand new? 2 pairs of brand new ears. I think I found another pair of old ears too. But this time I had planned to give away brand new ears instead of old ears. I did find some extra ears in here. Old ears. At least I think I found a pair of them. Oh yeah. A little shredded. Maybe I'll send McKinley Cruiser some of these. These is one of the old ears. Extra thick ones. Or maybe I might just give away these second-hand ears. I think I have one more ear that matches this ear. I don't know where it is, though. Well, you should have it. You did wear it until recently. Yeah, I did. I don't know where it is right now. So we might be giving some more ears. I don't know. Does she? She have to. I have new ears too, guys. But we're gonna do the contest differently, I think. Here's how I think I'd like to do it this time. Maybe. I'm trying to think how would we do this. Maybe it should be a question. Wait, what was it said? It says, well, wait, no, you're going to have to win them. Going to have to find a contest. I don't think we're going to do a contest. Maybe a trivia contest. You only got 2 pairs of ears. And depending on how many people will show up on the show, they have to be a tougher contest. Well, not super hard, but not super easy. Give her some new ones. I know, I have 2 pairs of new ears. Stan says, we are all but temporary inhabitants of this physical realm. Our physical bodies will die and ride away to nothing, but our soul essence lives on for eternity in many means, realms, planets, all existence. Probably. I don't see why I couldn't. I was going to originally give them up close a couple weeks ago, but things kind of kept sidetracked and they didn't happen. Well, yeah, he's the one that particularly was thinking about sending one in the pairs too. Because he looked okay with the ears, but I think they're going to be a little too light for him. I think he's going to have to darken them up a lot with some latex compatible cosmetic foundation to make him closer to match his skin tone because he has the darkest complexion. But I suppose I could give him a brand new pair of ears. I do have his address somewhere on my phone. But I was thinking about giving it to 2 new people. Just to be fair. Craig Sr. says, Metal Kitty 3CS is really cold. Out, but it's nice in the sun. I am trying to get my vitamin D today. I'm going out in my shorts and t-shirt and lay in the sun. Maybe even take my shirt off too. Good, but just watch out for hypothermia. Okay. If you have a porch that's got like a plastic sheathing on it instead of glass, at least you can get the UV and you're not gonna basically worry about freezing to death. LOL, Craig. I'm freezing my butt off. Yeah, it's cold right now. It's probably about let's see, what's the temperature here? I think my phone's still on. Yeah. It's 7 degrees Celsius right now. It's about 40 plus 32. It's about 46 degrees outside right now. Stan says, have a good day, everyone. Try to catch the evening show tonight. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens with tonight's show. Nobody knows what happens with the night shows. I almost think I should give it a completely different topic title. Like, NASQ Chill Zone, you never know what to expect. Which is what I said once before in the show. And the one that remains private. But I hope that tonight's show is not going to be broken down into an argument over things. That's obvious. But guys, it is time to get ready to wrap it up. And also, Ed said he was going to go with me down to get some more beer today. At least that was his plan. Because Instacart was a little bit expensive unless you're going to buy it with a lot of other stuff. And so, I told him, I said, well, you know, Ed, I would just, you know, just go down to the package store and get some beer. Since I'm not really doing anything big anyway for Friday with Krista. Oh, by the way, it reminds me. We will be having an afternoon show on Friday because I'm going to be going shopping with Krista at Dollar General primarily to get some things for the house. What's the deal with the giveaway? I haven't really come up with a good plan yet. I'm thinking about doing something different. Maybe have an online contest. Ask trivia questions that you have to email your answers to. And
look what I found in Torrington.
What's this?
Look what I just found that in Torrington.
Oh,
for free for $100.
Okay.
It's a Dodge motorhome.
I never heard of that brand.
Dodge. Chrysler Dodge.
Okay, and it's still available?
I think so. I just found that today.
Okay, so who else asked about it? Oh, you didn't. So it says, how much is he selling it for?
$100 or best offer.
$400 best.
$100.
Oh, $100 best offer.
Out of the yard, basically, you probably get it for free.
What's the condition? Is it running?
He says he hadn't started it in 10 years.
Oh,
that don't matter. Don't remember the other one we got didn't run for a while either.
Yeah. Well, it still might need a lot of work inside too. We don't know. All right. Well, anyway, guys, I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up soon. Anyway, I didn't say goodbye. I didn't say goodbye yet either. But anyway, so Ed and I are supposed to be walking down to the package store this afternoon. It's going to be almost 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to be 9 degrees Celsius today. So, if you want to go to the package store, it'd be best to go before the sun sets. So, about 2 or 3 o'clock, whatever. See everybody at 7 o'clock show. Absolutely. All right, guys. That's a wrap. So, for everybody, you all have a nice day. Stay out of trouble. And I'll see you tonight at 7, okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys.